once I got into the system and actually got through the setup of it, the ease now is pretty great. Sure. So for Simply Book Me, I have to use it for personal training services, so a one-on-one appointment. I also have to use it for group appointments, so I'll have multiple people within one session. They have to be able to sign up for class. They also have to be able to use a wait list. They have to use a multiple way of paying, which I thought was going to be difficult, but I figured out how to do that. So, for example, you could do a drop-in price, or you could do a 5-class pass. So I've figured out how to do that one. Using the point of sale, I do that as well. So basically, the entire thing is now me. So I am familiar with. I used MindBody software for about 4 years, and then I used Mariana Tech. However, my business changed, so I was with a full staff. I probably had maybe at times up to 10 staff members. So with the different software that I was using prior, it made sense to have all of the different options for payroll and things like that. Now it's me running the business, and I was looking at how much money I was spending on the other software, and it was very pricey. So as long as this one could move as smoothly as the other two softwares I've been using, it made more sense for me to go with Simply Book Me. So I started with MindBody software. When I originally started with MindBody software, I loved it. I thought it kind of gave me a little bit of a jump on the industry because I was a little bit more tech savvy than my competition. However, this is probably 2012, maybe 2013. And fitness studios, especially small studios, we were kind of newer. So I felt like I had a pretty good presence within MindBody. People could find me right away, log in, use it, no problems. However, with MindBody, when more of the franchises came along, these smaller studios kind of got lost. So, for example, a franchise has a little bit more opportunity to offer free classes here, free classes there. They also had multiple locations, where I was one location. And I felt like just besides using the software, I ended up having to spend so much money on advertising within the software that I was already paying for. So it became a bit cumbersome to me as a small business owner. I also noticed with MindBody, when I had employees that first start working for me, it took me a really long time to teach them how to use MindBody. So it was time that I was taken away from my clients and other things that I needed to do to actually teach them how to use the software. And even those that I taught how to use the software really struggled with it. They were on the phone with MindBody quite a bit. And when you're paying someone hourly and then they're talking to a software company that you're already paying to figure out how to do the things that I know how to do, or someone else that worked there previously knew how to do, it just becomes really costly. MindBody also overcharged me. So my business name, there was another one that happened in, I think it was in Texas or something like that. And they had the same business. However, I was a DBA. And they charged me for that studio as well. And since it was an automatic pull out of my account, it was a lot of money, and I was charged a lot of money for this. So I called them. We did resolve it, but it took me, I think it was maybe 9 months to get all of the money that they actually took from me that wasn't supposed to be taken from me. It was from a different studio to get back in my account. So that, of course, did not make me super happy. Mariana Tech, really great company. I enjoyed working with them. I enjoyed the kind of onboarding process. I felt like they were really great with me and my staff, teaching us how to do it. However, it is a little bit more sophisticated software, closer to MindBody, a little less than Simply Book Me, kind of in the middle there. So there were times where I would be a little stumped within it. However, I could figure it out. But again, the cost was pretty high with Mariana Tech, so that was kind of a downside. The upside is I had my own app, and my app was kind of great. So I did like that app a lot. I missed that app. And it also took me away from the competition. So with Mariana Tech, there was so much competition when you go to the app, with MindBody. When you go to the app with MindBody, you're listed with all of the other competition, all the other studios that are out there. Mariana Tech, I had my own app. So I would just encourage clients to download my own app. So a little bit different there. And those are the two that I use. So with Simply Book Me, when I went on to the original kind of trying to figure out how to run this company a little bit differently, a little bit more seamless, At the beginning, I felt very confident and I was kind of cruising. However, when I would come to a question that I didn't know, for example, I added infrared sauna appointments on. So I usually just had group fitness and I got it all set up in group fitness, but I wanted the infrared sauna appointment to be pulled off the same thing as the group fitness passes. So it kind of took me a minute to do the old learning curve, so to speak. With the previous software, the companies I've been using before, I've always had a live person. So now I was dealing with a chat. So I'm in my 40s. I'm not gonna lie. So when I'm trying to do this chat system, it's a little bit different for me as opposed to talking to someone on the phone. I prefer to talk to someone on the phone all day long, get my question answered, move on to the next phase. However, with the chat, it took me a little bit of a learning curve there to figure out how to ask the question that I wanted to ask, wait for the answer, make sure it was the right answer that I needed, and to be able to communicate that way. However, I will say YouTube, I guess with Simply Book Me, they have a lot of links to YouTube. And that I liked because I could go to YouTube, I could put up another computer onto the side and go into the actual site and make the changes based on what I was learning through YouTube. So because of that, I kind of got over my little learning curve there, and the price is great. I think what you have to do with Simply Book Me is actually look at what you are using it for and will it get you there. For me, I was a little concerned. I don't think there's a wait list. I was concerned on how to get these passes. It just took a minute to figure out those answers. Once you had those answers and you look at the overall picture, it made sense for me to go with Simply Book Me. It made sense because it's just as seamless as those big companies. However, the difference is the price. I mean, number one, price, night and day. The other thing is it genuinely is simpler to use. Some of these software companies have so much added on there that I didn't need. So I was paying for a lot of things that I wasn't using. I didn't need. I used QuickBooks for some of my other stuff. I just didn't think I didn't need to spend as much money and as much time and the learning that I did with these other software companies. And I will say, both with the other companies that I had used in the past, I think I'm on year 10 or 11 with my business at this point. They took almost 6 months. One of them said, well, we'll get you started within 6 months because that's how long it takes to learn our software. I was like, oof, that's a lot. For this, it honestly took me under a month. So, and I do feel pretty good with it now. I feel like I can book someone into a class. I can tell them how to use it. I can take payment. I can go into the point of sale if someone has a credit. I know how to put the little promo code in to get their credit. I've added pictures. I'm actually enjoying it a little bit. So I would just say be patient with it. It's worth it. And you can learn it, or you can learn anything just by watching YouTube, and the answers are there.